We're going to talk about getting results that stick, level up your business. It is my pleasure to bring in our speaker. And just before we go into Mr. Piche's biography, which we will do in a minute, I did want to share with you just a couple of things about the work that we do, because as people are coming in, so that they don't miss out on things. So my name is Alexei Schwartzman. I run Schwartzman Financial Corporation. We do many different things, as you can see in the slide that I'm showing. In fact, we take care of people's investments, we take care of people's insurance, we deal with taxes, financial planning, we deal with bookkeeping, and we also educate. In fact, we are privileged to bring in wonderful speakers to enlighten our audiences on different topics. And today we are very privileged to have with us to speak Mr. Francis Piche. And I'm just going to tell you a couple of things about Francis. So Francis is an Amazon International best-selling author. He's a keynote speaker. He's a founder and CEO of Resilience Element. His passions lie in helping people to reignite their life, to remove mental barriers, reduce emotional stress, and reawaken their inner power to succeed in life. We are very thankful for Francis finding the time to speak to us today. And Francis, I'm just going to hand over the control of the presentation to you.
Beautiful. Hello, everyone. How are you? I'm so excited to be here. And, I'm excited for the people that are here, because the simple thing is that you can decide and choose to create something unbelievable with what I'm going to present. And so this is important because, a lot of the times we show up into a presentation and we hear something and we say, I know that. But what happens when you do that is you shut off all the possibilities of something new coming in. And today could be your day that it could literally change your life. I promise. This is as powerful as it is. It's up to you to choose and really take action with what I'm going to present. So we're going to start sharing the screen. And what I love to do when I present is having some sort of a meditation, a grounding meditation, because I think that, I know some people are walking maybe on the streets. It might be difficult at that time, but if you can just find a place, maybe sit somewhere and close your eyes. Who cares about what the people are looking at you right now? It doesn't matter. That's your life. That's the reason you're here, is because you want to create more results in your life. You want to get unstuck and you want to level up your business, right? So we're going to do a meditation. And what I would suggest is that you think about the goals that you have in mind, or maybe your dream, something that you might have put on the side, but now take this moment to feel as if it's already happened and not just think about it. So be grateful. I'm so happy and grateful now that X, Y, Z happened. And if you maybe just go specific, that could be a place where you would be when your goal have been met. You might be in a special place with special people. You could be in your home, you could be relaxing. So just being in that moment now. And we'll start with this grounding meditation, which will last about 3-4 minutes, and then we'll start. There you go. I had a lot of energy moving in my body, so it's a very good sign, and I hope that you guys are excited, like I said, about today, and that you know that you can be, do, have everything that you want in your life. It's all possible, and so we'll learn things today about what's holding you back to create quantum results. So quantum results, by the way, is not looking for an increase of 10, 20, 30% of your business. We're talking about jumps here. And so that could very well be saying that your annual income is going to turn out into your monthly income. Yeah, that's possible. And it's possible you'll know how to create this. And so, and I want to talk also about goal settings, because most of the time the goal setting process is not the right one, and you'll understand why. And a concept that's very important is the knowing doing gap. And there's a lot of things you know, but that doesn't mean that you're doing it. So you're going to know what's in the way. And a trick to stay in charge, no matter what circumstances are happening, the external results, the afflictions, the challenges, whatever that is, you'll be always in control. And that's freedom, right? And so the 4 psychological steps of growth, you're going to learn about this. And I'd like to spend time for Q&A. So it's already, I'm in Montreal, by the way, right now, and I know some people are with the Eastern time. So that means, Alexei, if you can, maybe 10 to 12 minutes before the end, just give me a heads up, because I'd like to give as much as possible. I'm a mindset coach. I'd love to help people with whatever is on your mind. And you can ask me any questions. I don't withhold anything. We can talk relationship, business, whatever it is. I really want to truly help you. That's my intention today, because I want you to have results that stick. How important would that be for what? How would you feel if now all of a sudden your results would be constant and you can level up your business? So like I said, we're going to be quantum today. And there's a lot of times that there's something that's holding us back. There's something that's holding us back from the potential that we have. And so we look at our current circumstances, and it could be frustrating because we're stuck. And then at the same time, we feel that there's not enough resources, whether if it's time or if it's money. And by the way, time and money is irrelevant. You can create that. And so I know that some people can just say, no, that's impossible. It is possible. So, and you'll understand what's in the way, actually. So to create a new reality, would you agree? And you can maybe put your hands up or something, that you never change a reality by fighting an existing reality. You change something by building a new model. You can never change something other than creating a new model. That's the way you can make one obsolete. You agree on that? Can we agree on that? So that means that whatever you're doing, if you're not happy with that, you got to change it. That's the one way. So we're going to talk today about the mind, because that's where all the magic is. And we have an educated mind. We go to school. That's the conscious mind, and we learn and we learn and we learn things. And then we also have an emotional mind. The emotional mind is the subconscious mind. And by the way, 95% of your day is run by the subconscious mind. So you're just a human being full of habits. And these habits are created by, the education, the society that you had. It's all in the subconscious, and your subconscious is running everything. So you have your thoughts, your behavior coming out of your subconscious mind, and then it creates results. And then we look at the results, and that's why some people are not happy. But you just have to remember that your mind, if you had a stick person, and you can now think, because they say before, when we were talking about the mind, if I ask you how does it look, the mind look like? And people had a hard time. So there was a doctor in the early 1900s that just said, I'm going to just draw the mind, because we think in images. If I ask you, I say, hey, what's the color of your car? What's the color of the interior of your car? Where do you park it? And so, or how's your fridge? Do you open it this way? Do you open it this on the other side? We're all thinking in terms of images. That's why it's important to have this graphical representation of the mind, which is what drives everything. So you have your conscious mind, like I said, your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, which drives everything in your life. So the way it works is that, you know, we hear things, we see, we smell, we have all these senses that are coming out of our environment. And one of the mistakes that we do is that we judge and we based on life based on that. That is basically taking everything from the outside to influence everything from the inside. But to be successful and to start to do a change and to start to have a paradigm shift is that you have to live from the inside. That's where the game is. And unfortunately, the society has told us that this is we learn from the outside, right? We have a report card when we go to the school, and a report card said, hey, so-and-so, Olga, you know, Jessica or Adriana, Jessica, I'm assuming, you know, you've been doing good on math A, but, you know, C for phys ed, I don't know, whatever it is, or C for chemistry. And then you go back home, your parents are looking at it, they're like, oh, great, you're so good in math. Oh, you gotta be way better in, you know, chemistry. You're bad. Or, you know, let's say if it was F. And so now all of a sudden you feel not so good about chemistry, but where was that report taken? This report was taken in time, maybe 3 weeks before that. And now we're saying this is defining you. This is who you are. But that is not who you are. Who you are is actually a choice that you can make once you start to use your mind in a good way. So, you know, we have phenomenal mental faculties that we can use in order to change everything on the outside. We have the will, we have perception, we have memory, imagination, intuition. And we're not going to cover all of this because that's part of a program called Thinking into Results, but I'll just give you an example. Let's say something happened and it's really bad. Is there a lot of million ways to perceive this situation differently? You know, if I ask you, pick one challenge you had in your life, can you find today a silver lining out of it? Can you, you know, is there, maybe you've met someone, you were helped by someone that started to be your friend. Maybe, you know, you had to move, but now you're in a beautiful place, or this is a better country. I don't know. There's so many different ways, right? So now when you look at something that happens now, you just have to realize that everything is neutral, but you're the one putting the perception. So I'll give you an example. So if I ask you, you know, do you see something written on that bottle? You know, people might say, no, there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. And that's the event, right? This is passing by. I'm like, what are you talking about? There's something written on this. No, there's nothing written on this. And then I turn it around, and then all of a sudden here, Francis, now you see the writing on it. So who's right? So that doesn't mean that because you're right, that I'm wrong, vice versa. So what happened with this event is that it was actually very neutral, but you decided to put your own perception at a different angle. And then based on that, you had a meaning. Because let's say, I don't know, let's say that this bottle was green and some of you hate green. Like, Francis, why are you showing me this green bottle? I hate that. You know that it makes me feel bad. But for other people, what, green? Like, there's nothing wrong with green. Like, what's going on? And now all of a sudden we put the meaning on it. We create a huge story. And now this challenge is the worst thing ever, which could be what happens with your business right now. So is it possible that maybe just with one of the faculty of your mind, you can change your perception, and now there's a new reality, a complete new reality that's happening? So, and most of the time, you know, everything is our belief. The beliefs are in the subconscious mind. And now I just got this download. Most of the time, one of the problem is one belief that really holds us back is that I'm not good enough, or I'm not ready yet. You know, I gotta do this. And what's the real reason behind that? We're gonna talk about fear later on, but that's really fear. And so what if you can start to impress a new idea that you are ready, that you are amazing, that you're so worth it, you're lovable, you're the best there is? How would that make a change in your business now, having and holding this belief that, by the way, you're choosing? Because nobody else, you know, maybe somebody, an external event said something a long time ago, and you decided to pick up that perception from another person and say, oh, yeah, that must be who I am. I had F in chemistry. I must be very bad in chemistry. And that was just one time in the whole spectrum of the timeline. You see now how this could really change your life, because now you just have access to a tool that now you choose the beliefs that you want. That's up to you, entirely up to you. And now you can start to have quantum results if that's what you believe is possible, and it is possible. So, briefly, like infant versus today. As an infant, the reason why we have all these beliefs is because, we heard as an infant, everything is open. You have no ability to reject or accept an idea. It just comes in. That's why some babies in China are learning Chinese like this. And if they would have been in USA or Canada, bang, they would learn to speak French or English. That's how it is. I think it's 40 words a day that kids can learn. I would have a hard time right now. I mean, I'm not going to instill this belief, but it's a little bit more challenging, let's say, for me, maybe not for you. So, and today, we still have some of these instruments that are actually influencing our beliefs, and that's social media. That's what's happening on TV and everything. It's fear all the time, and then now you're in survival mode, and you're not doing what you could do if you really believe in your potential. So, perception is a big one, and that's what we work on normally in coaching, because there's always a situation, an event that was neutral at first that now we talk about, and that's how we can change completely your reality. So if you want to know why things are the way it is in your life right now, you just have to look at the results. Look at your results. Look at the business results you have, your revenue, your relationships, everything. Everything is created by you. So you want to know what someone thinks about money or about whatever, the relationship, look at the results. Because the results are telling you what's inside you, what's the subconscious belief. So, why would we not allow ourselves to be lovable, as an example? If we hold the belief that I'm not quite ready yet, well, guess what? The manifestation is I'm not quite ready yet. That's absolutely true. Universe is just responding exactly to your belief. That's a great news. That means you can change that, and you can really be in control of your life. So, if you're stuck, you look at, it's just basically an old paradigm. It's an old thinking, and the old thinking is going to produce the same results until you change it. So how do we shape the new future? To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm. And two words that are important, right? Willing. Are you willing? So here's something. Today could be the day that you decide and you choose to say, I'm not just interested, I'm committed. I'm really committed. I've had enough. I want to change this. I want to level up my business. And you can make that conscious choice right now to be committed. So what's the difference between being committed and interested? Many people, I'm interested. Interested is basically doing it when it's convenient. That's interested. But beautiful thing is when you're committed, you do whatever it takes to do it, because that means so much to you. It's a conviction. Why is that important for you to level up your business? Why is it important that now your results needs to stick? Is it because you want to create wealth for your family, for your kids, for your friends? You want to live and experience things that are and our birthright is abundance in all level. You can do anything you want. So to change your paradigms, you got to be committed. You got to be willing. And are we able to? Find me a story of anyone that wasn't able to transcend the challenge that you may have. We're seeing these stories that are so amazing, inspiring stories of people that maybe had no legs or whatever, and they're able to still play golf because they find the way. They're committed. They do whatever it takes. That could be mothers that, single mothers with 3 kids, and they say, no, I'm committed to change my reality. I will change that. Do we have these stories? Yeah, we have these stories. It's available. So it means that if these people were able to, and we have access to the same potential power that comes from the universe, Because let me ask you, and that's important, because are you doing anything right now to make your heartbeat going on? Like, do you do anything for the air to comes in your lung? Do you have to think about that and say, oh, hold on, Francis, I need to inhale. I'm gonna exhale now. Now I'm gonna listen. You know, it's just natural. And so there's this beautiful energy that comes, and that's the divine intelligence. So we all have access to that. The same amount of air is everything. So that means that if someone's able, you're able too. Maybe that's the paradigm shift that you're making today. You know what? Yeah, I'm able to do this. I'm absolutely able to do this. So this is why I said it's possible today, if you choose and you're committed, that you can change completely your life. And I can help you with that as well. So now, one of the myths that I love, by the way, is that, you know, we hear on social media, you hustler, hustle. And I know that I put that on purpose with hustler, because sometimes we're hustling, and I put that on LinkedIn. I don't believe in hustling, because my definition of hustling is really working hard. And working hard is a myth. You don't need to work hard in order to have quantum leaps. I'll give you an example. Have you ever seen a little fly in the summertime trying to exit the window, working crazy and just wants to, forcing the matter, trying to go through the window and eventually die? We've all seen that. And you've noticed also, most probably, that there was a door that was open 10 feet away, and all you had to do was go through the door. That was it. So working really, really, really hard is not an option, is not preferable. You can choose to say, no, you know what, quantum leaps are possible. By the way, Alex, I'll do even another bonus. I have a digital copy of what's called U Square. I don't have it with me, but it's how to create quantum leaps. And it's all in the mind. It's all about changing the paradigm. It's a short little book, 36 pages, I think. And the key is to apply it. So working hard is just a myth. And that's why you can create giant leaps. So now, let's talk about goal setting. You know, most of the time, the goal setting, what have you learned about goal setting? For us, when we think about in the program, it's about a worthy ideal. It's something that matters a lot to you. Because most of the time when we're being trained on goals, all we do is, you know, we think in terms of not C, but A-type goal. And A-type goal is something I know I can do. So you know you can do it, so that becomes your goal. You're just, okay, that's going to be my goal. But how is that supposed to excite you? It's something you already know how to do. And then you have another type of goal, and it's the B-type goal. And the B-type goal is something you think you know how to do it. You know, you think, if I do this, I'll probably be able to achieve my goal. But the real good goal, the one that you need to have and choose to have, is the C-type goal. So the C-type goal is something you've never done. You've never done it. That's the first criteria. And the second criteria, you don't know how. That's kind of scary. What? You're telling me that I need to have a goal that I don't know how, and I've never done it? Exactly. That's the type of goal. Why? Because it's exciting. You know, look at the people that made the plane going on in the sky. The iPhone. The iPhone was a crazy idea. Hey, I'm going to put all the songs, and you're going to be able to call, and you're going to be, you know, merging three things together, and that's it. That was crazy. Everything, all most biggest inventions in the world they didn't know how. It was not available, and they've never done it. So this is the type of goal that will excite you. And now you'll know how to start to go from your fantasy into and asking yourself, am I willing to do this? Yes, I'm absolutely willing. I'm committed. Am I able? Yeah. If people were able to invent something that was not there yet and they didn't know how, I'm able to. And then you start to convert your fantasy into a theory, and then it becomes a fact. And that's the creative process. And of course, now you can remember, right? Like there's a paradigm that's in the way. So if you say, oh, it's impossible, I can never do something I've never done before, and I don't know how, this is impossible. Well, you're right. You're absolutely right. If that's what you believe, and if that's what you choose, that's true. That's what's going to happen. So if you're really committed and you want to change your results, you better change your paradigm and start to implement new ideas inside your subconscious mind, right? So your fantasy is absolutely possible. That's good news. And you are the most valuable person there is. So I think, I'm glad actually, we do have some time to have a little exercise about the worthy ideal. So take a piece of paper or take your phone and just now think about a worthy ideal, something you've never done, but that excites you, something that, if I would do that, oh my God, this is so good. Like I've always thought about this. I've never really decided to take a leap. But oh my God, this is such a beautiful goal. So I'll tell you, for my goal is a big amount of money that will serve for this. So my goal is to have a documentary on stories of resilience and freedom, so that you will never let fear stop you. You will remember that your mind, body, and soul is so powerful that you can do anything. And I'm going to show stories of people that have done it, so that you're really excited and you know that it's possible. And we're going to bring the science for the ones that are saying, well, it's, and everyone's going to believe in themselves. My mission is to reawaken the inner power, is to reawaken the freedom now, not in the future, now. And now starts with your belief. So that ideal for me, documentary, is probably a $1.5 million. And then there's an app into it. And I really want to create a community. So that's, an MVP is about 750,000. So I add all of that, plus the house, plus everything that I've always wanted, house on the beach. It's about 3.6 million. That's my goal. Have I ever done that? No, not yet. Do I know how? I'm starting to know how now, because I've been working on it for a long time. Well, maybe 6 months, because I'm impressing this idea all the time. I'm changing my subconscious mind. I'm getting new ideas, these ideas with partnerships. And now I'm thinking, wow, man, imagine this, these 2,000 locations times all the clients, that's 4 million. Oh, or if I start to hire some people and I teach them about this program, and then all this, you know what I mean? Everything is possible. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes to write down your worthy ideal. And it's super important if you haven't done that for a while. And now I would say, look at it every day, be excited. So you're going to have some music with it, and we're going to do it right now. How was that? You know, this is very important. I have in my movie that I look every day because you know now that this is a way to impress a new idea in your subconscious mind, right? So what is my movie? That's essentially slides that you create and then a video and with some affirmations on it and music, the music that inspires you. And why is it important that you are inspired? Because you understand now that you have your conscious and the subconscious, and all the feelings, all the emotions are stored into your subconscious mind. This is where everything happens. You got to be emotionally involved with your idea. Why would the goal happen if you're just, yeah, I do it, but you know, life is going to be great, but I don't really mind. I don't want to really go through the trouble. That's why by this emotion that's exciting you, you're going to change completely your life. So now we're going to talk about the concept. And I hope it's clear, right? Are you excited about this? Maybe some hands up. You just, yes, I commit. This is really important. You wouldn't be here if it was not important. I know that. So I'm excited for you. This is why I was, started to have good vibes to start with. So what is the knowing doing gap? You already know. I mentioned it before. So you know how to increase your business. I'm not gonna present you with new information that's gonna blow your mind about how to create your. No, I mean, right now we're learning about the reason why it's not working. The reason why you're not doing what you know you're supposed to do is because of your paradigm. There's tons of information everywhere available. I don't know what you do, but I'm sure that if you Google 10 ways to increase my business in X industry, you would find the answer. And that's why this program is so important, because you just know that it was just the reason why you're not doing what you're supposed to do is based on your paradigm. There's a belief that blocks you. There's maybe fear, and most probably fear, just fear, that's blocking you. And so beautiful thing is that when you start to implement and instill a new idea in your mind, Oliver said, men's minds stretch to a new idea, never goes back to its original dimension. You got to stretch yourself into the unknown, into the uncomfortable zone first with your thought. And so if I had the analogy of a post that you bend 90 degrees, that's how you can go 45. But if I want to go 45, that's why I got to bend it. I got to stretch it to a new dimension. And so for you to be able to have now people like, yeah, how am I doing that? You got to start to repeat and repeat and repeat this idea so that it becomes a belief. A belief is a collection of your ideas that you repeated over and over again. It became your habits. And so now by implementing a new idea, imagine someone living with the idea that they're not good enough, and another one with, no, I am good enough. What type of action can be created with just this thought alone, this new thought that you firmly believe inside you? Because you just realize that what happened in the past was just in the past. It was caused by your perception from someone that had nothing to do with you. And then all of a sudden, and hey, if everyone's able to do it, I'm able to do it. And I imagine the type of results that you can create. So it started with your thought, it created the feeling created the behavior started to do new results. And then you just keep on improving. You keep on stretching your mind to new ideas. And that's how you can create quantum leaps, and just an idea like that. Can you have a mastermind? Can you have people to help you to create these ideas that is going to help you to leapfrog your business? Yeah, absolutely. That's possible. So the law of repetition is really, truly important. I don't know anyone that would expect to go to the gym and say, yeah, going once, I'm done. Good. Just need to know what to do. And all is good. Just one time a week. And yeah, I'm going to be a stud. No, you got to repeat. So why is it? And how many times do we read books? We read it once. So you got to repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat to start to change the subconscious mind. In this program, every day in the morning and at night, we're watching a video and then we work on the worksheet. And why do the people do that? Because their goal is so important. They are so excited about it that they'll do whatever it takes. And then that's why you see people, like I said in the beginning, that have their annual income converted into their monthly income. So what if you just double it with the ideas today? Double it. I'm not talking 12x, I'm talking double. It's absolutely possible. So It's a tool to help you to stay in charge. And so how do you stay in charge? Because, you know, like I said, the biggest obstacles really is fear. That's what's stopping you. That's the paradigm. You know, we get frozen and paralyzed when it happens. So I wanted to talk about this concept of terror barrier, because the key for you is to understand it. Once we understand it, it's not frightening anymore. We just know, we have this awareness. We know where it's coming from. So here's the thing, like most of us right now, even including myself, if I don't like the results of something in my life at the moment, I'm in bondage. That's the first little stick person on the side. So you do have what we call like a next idea. That's your belief. So you have that in your subconscious mind. You repeated it so many times that it became in your subconscious, and that's what's being manifested on the outside. Now all of a sudden it's just your X type of idea that manifests an X type of result. And then today Francis is talking about new ideas, and we just start to put this idea inside you. You get excited. Ooh, I'm going to be able to do quantum leaps. Wow. And it's on your subconscious mind. But until you, so do you know now, what do you need to do in order to have new results? Do we focus on the conscious or the subconscious? It's the subconscious mind. So now we're starting to implement that and repeat it. And now it goes into the subconscious. There's like a conflict right now. You've lived your life with X idea. Now I'm putting you Y idea, or you choose to have Y idea inside you. There's a conflict now. Ooh, that means that I'm gonna have to step outside my comfort zone. I might have to do some lives and videos and be exposed. Oh my God! And then people, I might be embarrassed. I might be ridiculous, and all of this. And then you have the fear. That's what we call the terror barrier. So now you know why it happens. That's a beautiful thing. You just know, oh, I'm stressed right now. So there's a stressful thought that I had. Where is it coming from? Oh, okay, because it's against my belief, and that creates all this havoc inside my body. Then that's why. And then once you go through it, once you step into the unknown, when you step into, because why would you not step into the unknown? If you stay where you are, you're going to have the same result. So you decide to go on the unknown, and then all of a sudden, boom, freedom. And now you're not in bondage anymore. And by the way, this cycle is going to repeat, because you're going to start to do things extraordinary, and then you're going to have bigger goals, and then guess what, you're going to have to implement a new idea that's going to start to frighten your body and anxiety and everything, and then bam, you're going to go through the barrier again. But how cool is that, just to know that with these 4 steps, so like you just understand the process right now. Where am I? Oh, okay, so frustrated right now, bondage, same idea. Okay, and let's implement a new idea. Oh, I'm afraid. Oh, okay, I knew that. Now let's go through it. We're gonna have new results, and that's gonna be freedom. Whew, how's that? And I'm sure you're gonna be pretty happy about it. So, you know, to conclude, there's a few mindset principles, and I'm actually a mindset coach. So there's a lot of things that we work on a regular basis, but you know that, you know, in order to have new results, you have to have new mindset. That's as simple as that. And I just want you to know also that you could be, do, and have everything. And a quick concept on that is that most of us, and I've done it many, many times, I thought, oh, I'm going to be able to be happy when I have this. And when I have that, I'll be able to do this, and then I'll be happy. But it's the other way around. It's your way of being that creates everything in your life. How's a confident person acting? Are they going to have different outcomes? Yeah. So your being is what creates everything. Your being is you choosing the idea, the thought that's empowering you, that you put into your subconscious mind, and then you start to have different action, and you have different results. So that's where it all starts. Now you have the choice. You can be in the court, or you can be in a stand and watch and see this life that really doesn't change until you change your paradigm. And last year for me was a year where I've learned my power of creation. I had business partners that were supposed to give me $190,000, and I was waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And then my fear manifested, because I was afraid to talk to the technology partner and say, I don't think it works because you're not committing to your word. And I didn't have that conversation until 9 months after, to realize that I always had the power of creation. So like I said, for me, my motto is you either wait or you create. It's one or the other. So do you want to stay in this position for a long time? Do you want to put your dreams on hold for a long time? Do you want to continue to just think that you're not good enough, even though other people have done it? How bad do you want this? How bad do you want to make this thing happen? Right? There's a reason your soul wanted to be in this call, because that the soul, your spirit, your potential is so big that it's crying out loud to say, hey, I want this. Yeah, and I know you can. And then the fear is going to show up, but now you know what to do with the fear. It's just, first of all, just a thinking. It's just a bad thought. That's what fear is. And you can change that. So now you can choose. You have the choice to choose, and you create. And quantum leaps, you can. You just got to go get it. Success is about getting it. So who wants to step into the power? That's what's possible. So I'm glad we have times for Q&A. And 2 minutes before the end, I'll tell you the giveaways that I'm giving you, and also what's possible for the next step. So I'm complete. Any questions from people here on the call?
It's beautiful, Francis. Thank you so much for a powerful talk. I don't see any questions on the chat yet, but can you tell me, between work and focusing on one, let's say many people here probably have their own business. How do you find the time to both focus on yourself and focus on your business?
It's a great question. So you create it. That's what I tell my clients, because it's really about choosing your priority. So I myself choose to wake up early. When I wake up at 7, it feels like I slept in. So I choose to wake up around 4:35, and then I meditate for an hour, and I work on changing my subconscious, and I find the time. And I also know that most people have distractions, and there's so many quantum principles that you can use. One of them, not multitasking. I had this 2 days ago. We had a group coaching call, and we're doing an exercise and calculating how long it takes to spell resilience, and then count from 2 to 20 by increments of 2s, 2, 4, 6, and calculated, okay, resilience then, and then we did the number, and then I said, okay, so now we're gonna mix it. You're gonna spell it, but in between the letters, you're gonna put the numbers, the same number that you started to count. And just with that exercise, not counting the mistakes that were done, so how costly is a mistake, right? That was 3 times longer to just multitask. So that's just one thing, right? And then you have the compound effect of everything that you do. So repeating and repeating, eventually, you might not have the results in the beginning, but you're going to have huge results at the end. So it's really about choosing, what do you really want? Because I've seen phenomenal women or men that had so many things to do, but they decided and they committed to do it. And everything else is just an excuse. And it's also saying that your external is bigger than you. So you're just going to have an excuse instead of taking yourself, your own power, and say, I choose to change this. This is no longer serving me, so I'm going to do it. And I'm going to find the time. Even if it's just 15 minutes, 15 minutes is better than nothing. And you do that every day, 365 days. I mean, I haven't calculated it, but that's a lot of hours, more hours than you ever spent before. And the cool thing is that now you're super motivated because you're working on yourself. And so how cool is that? So I think for me, it's always a choice. You always a choice. Saying that I can't do this. If you say I can't do this, that was your choice saying that I can't, if that makes sense. So thank you very much, Alexei, for this question.
Thank you. That is fantastic. Here is one other question that I wanted to ask you is from the work that you've done with other people, and I'm sure you've dealt with people in all sorts of industries, when do people have breakthroughs from your experience?
Never had that question asked before. When do people have breakthroughs? I think the breakthroughs is to really when you have the capacity to do anything you want, and you realize that the breakdown that you had was actually serving you. And the breakthrough occurs when there's a discovery, there's something new that is a aha moment. And it might be, most of the time for me, if I talk about a breakthrough, I'll be very personal. I mean, there's a relationship I had 3 years ago, and I was afraid at that time that, maybe she would be with this person, because it was a long distance relationship and I was spending a lot of time with this guy. And my fear was that she would cheat on me. And then I basically decided to meditate, and then I realized, oh my God, it's just like, if she decides to do this, then it's nothing about me. It's just her decision. That's her choosing what's good for her. She's not saying Francis Piche is bad. She's not saying Francis Piche is not good. And then this aha moment, because I was in pain, and I decided, here's another thing, you go through the fear. So I decided, all right, I'm scared of what? I'm scared of being cheated. Let's go graphical. Let's put it all there. Like, okay, what's gonna happen? Oh, let's go. Let's feel it. Because I've done Vipassana 10-day silent meditation once, and it was about observing and also knowing that things are just temporary. It's a sensation, so you go through it. So I decided to go through it in my mind about what would happen, and then I thought, this have nothing to do with me. And the cool thing is that 5 minutes after this meditation was over, she called me and she said, I want to end the relationship. And it's like, I knew that when it happened, it's almost like the universe was saying, you got this. And that was a huge breakthrough for me. And then actually, she ended up being with this guy a month after, but it didn't matter to me anymore. So, because I had my breakthrough. And so it was a breakdown. So a breakdown always transcends into a breakthrough if you choose to. There's always a reason why things are happening.
Fantastic. Thank you. And those of you who are on the call, by all means, if you have any questions to Francis, put it in the chat window. We have just a few more minutes, and I'm just going to, while I don't see any more questions so far, I did have one other question for you. I'm sure I have quite a few, but my next question to you was going to be, we live in the world where there is so much information that's available. And if you're looking for motivational videos, and if you go into YouTube, you can be there for years just listening to motivational stuff. How do you find, or how do you separate the good versus maybe not so good when it comes to getting people inspired or getting people moving in the direction of their choice?
Wow, I love that question. Thank you for sharing that. I want to say thank you to all of you guys for showing up. And I know you have something unbelievable inside you, and I'd be honored to serve you. So to answer this question is, I believe it's either fear or love that you sense. There's two main emotions in life, and that's either fear or that's love. So, and it's up to you to really decide how you feel about it. So that's how I choose. So if I feel that somebody has that vibration, and I don't know why, but it's just, it doesn't feel right to me, I know that I follow my intuition. And sometimes, because I repeated my exercise about knowing what's right, what's wrong so many times, that if I have a chill in the back of my back, I just know that this is a good decision. But so for me is really, how's that serving me is one, but how do I feel? What's that feeling? Is that good? Like, you just have to know, good or bad. I don't feel good about this. Well, that's most probably not going to serve you then. And I always say to the people that are joining, it's always, does that feel good? Do you feel like you want to do it? If that's the case, go for it. And if not, then something else is going to happen. Something great's going to happen. Maybe you just need to wait, but you also know that you either wait or you create. So for me, I always do it with this perception, this idea, good or bad, and then I make my decision. And all decisions that are made of love are great. Decisions that are made of fear, not so good. It will turn out to be good eventually, because that's going to be your own lesson. The reality is, decisions that are made out of love, always great.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Where can people get some more information about you?
Yeah, so as I promised, I will give you guys 2 things, but now 3. Putting in the chat, but I believe we're gonna send an email. So it's the 2 of the biggest lessons that I've had in my life. I already talked about it for the power of creation. So it's a bestseller book, and that's just a chapter of Ignite Possibilities. And then you also have Ignite Your Inner Spirit. experience about plant medicine that I've done in Peru, and I had a really powerful lesson out of it that I hope it's going to serve you. And then for the ones that are here, I would love to, serve you with a complimentary breakthrough session. So if you really want to work on something and there's no obligation, and of course you'll have the choice to join the program if you want to, I'd love to spend time and let's get you some breakthroughs, because now you just know that there's a paradigm and we just need to remove that paradigm and get excited about it. And that's what drives me. That's to see these breakthroughs and the aha moment and say, oh, I can. Yes, you can. And so thank you guys for being on the call. Glad we finished on time, and you guys are just amazing.
Thank you, Francis, for the wonderful work and for the wonderful words of wisdom. Really appreciate you participating, and wishing everyone a great day. Thank you.